Hello, welcome everyone. Our topic today is why agility is your organization's lifeline. And let's start with a quick introduction. My name is Tolga Kombak. I'm one of the managing partners of ACM Agile. I'm an agility consultant and a professional Scrum trainer in Scrum.org and also IC Agile. So I met with Agile and Scrum 2009. And I had a moment of enlightenment in a bank where all the projects were waterfall. And after that, I have worked as a Scrum Master and internal Agile coach in that bank for 5 years. And then I decided that I need to go pro and do this everywhere. And I'm coaching and consulting organizations, coaching teams, delivering trainings in lots of organizations, from big transformations to small startups. And I'm living in Istanbul, Turkey. Back to you, Sinan.
Thank you very much, Tolga. So also briefly about myself. At the introduction, I introduced briefly about ACM Agile, but about myself. So I've been with ACM for the past 5 years as an agility consultant. And when I joined ACM, I've seen that actually majority, almost like everyone within ACM, has a background of computer science. So 5 years ago, it wasn't such a buzzword as business agility. Now it's a buzzword. So I can proudly consider myself as one of the early adopters of business agility with a non-IT background. And for 15 years, I worked across different multinational companies. As you can see, I started my career at finance, and then moved to pharmaceutical, and worked in areas such as finance, marketing, and sales, key account management, etc., both in Turkey, also at Switzerland, at Roche, at global positions. And I'm also one of the lecturers at Sabancı University, a university at Istanbul, to deliver a course on agile transformation to graduate students. I'm very happy to be here with you, and I would like to invite you to think about, especially the foundations of what's innovation, and then, its relation with agility and the essentials of innovation and how they interrelate with the well-known concepts of agility. So, and then Tolga is going to explore how can we understand whether our organization is ready to unleash innovation, and what are the symptoms that there are maybe problems within the organization so that innovation is lacking, how to diagnose them, and what kind of a roadmap that we can follow in order to treat all of those symptoms. So let's begin. Yeah. So the title of our presentation is Innovate or Stagnate, and I thought about the images that can basically explain this concept. So there are a lot of fancy cars in Dubai, and it kind of served as an inspiration. So innovate, as you can see, Tesla brought about disruptive innovation, where we all know, whatever, let's say, novelty it brought to the car industry. So not only autonomous vehicles, but also electric vehicles. And its layout, its simplicity is totally new. And we know what happened next. So it became one of the most valuable companies ever in a very short time period. Or stagnate. So Chrysler used to be one of the, let's say, the kings of Detroit. When the car industry was heavily based in the United States, but they were recently acquired by Fiat, as far as I know. So, they wrote about incremental innovation, which wasn't enough for them to create competitive edge. And that's why either you innovate or you stagnate. This is what happens. And I would like to explain also the relationship with agility. And I looked up for the definitions of agility. There are textbook definitions, but this is one of my favorite ones. And maybe it is also spelled by Jeff Sutherland, one of the co-founders of Scrum and one of the authors of Agile Manifesto as well, together with two other prominent figures in the world of Agile. And they say innovation is the profitable application of creativity to improve products and services, processes, or business models. We all know that innovation is highly related with the financial well-being of a company. So it is a profitable application, because to bring about innovation, you need to be able to understand what's going on in the world and turn it to a competitive advantage much faster than the competitors. The cards are reshuffled every single day. So how are you going to be the first one to collect the insights, do some experimentation, bring in something that would be relevant to your target audience to address their emerging unmet needs, and then offer them great first experience, and then they try your product or solution, and then they repeat and maybe refer it to the other people. That's why it's highly related with profitability. So when you innovate, your revenue can go up. And when you innovate, your cost can go down. So they are highly interrelated with the financial results. But if your organization has an actual performance like that with regards to EBITDA, but every year you want to do something much better, but you cannot do that, what does it show? What do you see in this picture? Sorry?
Stagnation.
Yes, stagnation. Yeah, but they are suffering, right? So every year, we will do some innovation and outbid the competitors and gain a competitive edge and increase our market share, penetration, etc. And then you cannot succeed and postpone it to the next one and the next one and the next one, but it never comes, right? So this company most likely is suffering from lack of innovation. And we all know that the average lifetime of Standard & Poor's 500, top 500 companies is diminishing over time. Now it's around 15 years, and it's going to even decrease to 10 years. So we all know the very famous examples of the companies, the huge ones, that are unable to survive. It is because, just like Chrysler, they are unable to bring in disruptive innovation. They cannot beat the competitors, and maybe they cannot really understand the signals that is happening in the world with regards to unmet and emerging customer needs. And so I wanted to understand by going back to basics, like what is really the DNA of innovation? What are the key characteristics? And before I show the next slide, so since we are now a cozy, let's say, group of people, so I would like to ask and make it as interactive as possible. So what do you think are the main characteristics of innovation? What does it require?
To be brave.
Sorry?
To be brave.
To be brave, courage, right? Courage.
Experiment.
Sorry?
Experiment.
Experimentation. Exactly.
Fail.
What?
Fail. Fail.
Faith. Faith.
Fail.
Failure. Exactly. So experimentation.
But it's all
Fail.
to be brave.
Yeah. It requires to be,
You don't want
courageous. What else?
To be crazy. To be crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. To be crazy.
Like out of the box thinking, maybe, right?
Research. I mean, you need data, right? Break the barriers between the silos. So it requires collaboration, right?
Yeah, I just was thinking yesterday I watched some interview, and Elon Musk, he said that he has two personalities inside. He has some psychological problems, and it's already proved that all innovators, they're really crazy. Like they don't care about what's going on around.
Yeah.
That's why maybe this is not skill, it's like somehow ability to disrupt all world. Yeah, and change it.
He's bold. He's definitely bold. And I'm going to share a few examples from Elon Musk as well. So maybe some of you are already familiar with this book. But Clayton Christensen, he passed away a couple of years back. And he is also the founder of the concept, disruptive innovation. He was a professor at Harvard University. And there are 5 characteristics that he says is required for an organization to be innovative. And I would like to explore them together with you. Associating, questioning, observing, networking, and experimenting. The ones that you have already counted. But let's understand them better. What do they mean? So associating is like combining the dots. So since we are living in a VUCA world, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, and new opportunities do emerge every single day, right? So there's a new invention, or there's a new trend, etc. So how are you going to connect the dots? And so that, based on that, you're going to come up with a solution that would resolve an emerging unmet need. So you need to, first of all, solve a problem of your target audience to deliver some value. And Steve Jobs is very well known for connecting the dots. So, I mean, maybe you know from his biography, so he was kind of an expert in typography and also calligraphy, which inspired him to develop the keyboard of the first Macintosh. And the second one is questioning. So as you just mentioned, Elon Musk is bold enough to ask the most daunting, let's say, to address the most daunting challenges. And he was wondering, like, okay, how can I go to Mars? And it was too expensive, and NASA was always like stopping its space shuttle program. Therefore, he asked, how can we make it affordable? That's sustainable from a financial point of view. And he asked the question like, what if we do the vertical landing? So you know the rest of the story. So it is like asking the most challenging questions, but at the same time, trying to fail. I mean, also taking the risk of failure. But I like the phrase, I heard it from someone, and it says, redefine failure. So trying to validate an hypothesis is definitely not a failure. Okay, you can fail in an experimentation. But failure is the lack of ability to learn from, let's say, a failure of a hypothesis. So redefining failure is extremely important. There is a very short video on YouTube. I would encourage you to search for it on YouTube to see, I mean, how many rockets have failed to vertical launch. So they did a lot of experiments, but at the same time, they observed and collected data. Why did it fail this time? I mean, is it like the propelling part? Is it the liquid that we are using? Or is it like, I mean, maybe we couldn't calculate the wind factor, etc. So every single time they learned something so that next time they wouldn't continue doing the same mistake. So this is what we call as data-driven decision making.